It's Thoughtful Thursday.
It's not a game. Look, I respect the people in game journalism and the video game industry in general, but it's because this is a new thing that was adapted by culture. The video game industry doesn't know what it is. It's never known what it is. When business first started selling them, they didn't know what it was. That's why Nintendo first sold as a family entertainment system. It wasn't a video game because video games had a bad name back when things were video games. Now that technology has advanced, we can see this supergroup over video games, which we've expanded into. And because people have always known things that you play on a computer or a console as video games, we didn't recognize that they're just interactive software. They're not necessarily games, it's just a digital experience, or digital interactive experience, if you will, which is what I think is the correct term for it. But I was hoping that someone who actually has a voice would find the better terminology and find a way to stick. And I think, based on Jim Sterling's response and Nika Harper's, and we're in this very laissez-faire attitude about it and what definitions of things are. And I can't imagine what that would be like if we applied that to biology. If we were just like, well, they're mammals, or we got rid of mammals, we'd be like, oh, they're dogs. It's got four legs and furry. It's a dog. But video games are games that you play with a video interface, using a monitor, like a TV or a computer monitor. It doesn't matter what the device is, as long as it's electronic, and you are playing it. You're playing a game with it. A game has objectives. It has gameplay. It might have a story to it. Some games don't. But if you take away the gameplay, and it's a game without gameplay, then it's not a game. If I showed you a board game that you didn't play, like a choose your own adventure book, you don't play that. You pick the path that you're going, so it is interactive, but it's still a book. It's not necessarily a game. You just pick the predetermined paths and you go from point A to one of the endpoints. There are interactive stories like that, like fables and such, and I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm not saying they shouldn't exist. They definitely have a demand in a market, but they're not games, and that's fine. Enjoy them all you want. They're still digital interactive experiences. They're still interactive software. They're just not games. And I don't see why that's such a bad thing to define it that way. Minecraft, as much as I love Minecraft, is not a game. It's a digital toy. I think Notch even said that at one point. That it's more of a digital toy than a game. There's no gameplay. Oh, keep yourself alive. That's a game you can play in Minecraft, in which case that acts as a platform for playing games. And survival, that's fine. Creative, build stuff. That's the game. Is I'm going to build a kitty or tower or whatever you want to build. So like you determine your own games in Minecraft inside the platform. And I want to see more things like that. And until we start redefining the video game industry, again, preferably it's like the digital interactive experience industry, it's not going to go as many places and it's not going to go as fast because we're working into the virtual reality universe now, and there's so much potential. So we use spherical cameras to start filming major movies and designing it for experiences outside of a flat screen that are still compatible with flat screen, preferably. Then you can end up with a VR movie where you can be in the movie, watching the movie from any angle you want, because you can move around, you can get different perspectives. I think you still have to keep boundaries because, hey, you shot the film with a certain expectation. But that is a whole new thing that could happen, but we're never going to get there if we consider it to be a video game still. It's not. It's an interactive movie, maybe. And hell, we could get there with interactive stories where you are a person, what would you do? I mean, that's almost what Stanley Parable is. I still consider that a virtual environment or an interactive story, but you could find it an interactive movie because it's based on your actions that happen that the story progresses. But it's not a game. And you could be furious at me for that, or you can be on my side. At this point, it doesn't matter. The people with the voices really need to get a hold of things, and in 50 years, something will move us towards this, and we'll be disassociating ourselves with video games, except where video games are concerned, and this whole nonsense argument will be for nothing. So I'm not concerned with it. Hopefully, I'll live to see the day. But that's it for me. It's just a thought I had this Thursday.
If you want to see anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations, and they'll take you to our other channels.